The news that should never come. It was an ordinary Wednesday when Rachel Collingwood's world collapsed. The phone rang at 3:17 a.m., and on the other end, a trembling voice said the unthinkable. Her 13-year-old son, Evan, had suffered cardiac arrest in his sleep. No explanation, no preparation, just the cold finality of an end. She rushed to the hospital still in her pajamas, driving as if floating through another reality. When she arrived, the hallways felt colder, longer, as if time were mocking her. The doctor who greeted her had a tired but gentle look. "We did everything we could." Rachel didn't hear the rest. She just felt her body collapse. Rachel sat on the kitchen floor for hours, the phone still in her hands. She hoped someone from the family would call. Feel something. But no one called. At noon, she mustered the courage to message her parents, siblings, in-laws. No immediate response. She tried to rationalize. Maybe they were sleeping. Maybe they didn't know what to say. Maybe they thought it was a horrible prank. By 6 p.m., still with no answers, Rachel stared at a family photo on the shelf. Evan smiling beside his grandparents. "Where are you now?" she whispered. 2 days later, Rachel stood alone in the morgue identifying her son's body. Her eyes were swollen from crying. "Where is everyone?" she murmured to the nurse. The answer was a sheepish shake of the head. She caressed Evan's hair one last time. She was afraid she'd forget his scent, the sound of his laughter, his habit of snapping his fingers while thinking. No one showed up to help with the grieving process. She chose the casket alone. The tombstone, too. That night, her twin sister, Danielle, finally replied with a message. "Mom, Dad, and I are going to Hawaii for 10 days. We really needed this break. You understand, right?" Rachel felt her stomach churn. Evan's funeral was scheduled in 4 days. She typed and erased countless replies. None seemed worthy of the monstrosity of that decision. In the end, she simply replied, "No, I don't understand." The funeral was small. A few neighbors, Evan's schoolmates, the science teacher who used to joke with him during recess. Not a single member of Rachel's family showed up. She stepped up to the podium, her legs shaking, and said, "My son was loved by strangers and ignored by those who were supposed to be our pillars." She recalled every Christmas, every birthday when she fought to keep the family together. Now, in the most fragile moment of her life, she was abandoned, and the absence hurt more than the grief itself. While cleaning Evan's room, Rachel impulsively opened Instagram. She saw Danielle and their parents smiling on a helicopter ride over turquoise waters. The caption read, "Peace and renewal. We needed this. #LifeIsNow." She threw the phone against the wall. The next photos showed decorated cocktails, luxury dinners, volcano hikes. A dream vacation funded by the parents' retirement money Rachel had been helping to supplement for years. 2 weeks later, Rachel called for a video meeting with everyone. She needed answers. "You missed my son's funeral for palm trees and tropical drinks?" Danielle replied coldly. "We deserve happiness too. The pain is yours, not ours." The silence that followed was louder than any scream. Their mother, with dry eyes, muttered, "We didn't know how to handle it." Rachel hung up. She never spoke to any of them again. Rachel decided to cut all ties. She sold the house where she had raised Evan and moved to another city. She founded a support organization for grieving mothers abandoned by family. She named it Evan's Light. Its motto, "When family fails, empathy sustains." The new city brought anonymity and the chance to begin again. Deep down, Rachel still slept with Evan's favorite t-shirt beside her pillow. But now, her pain had purpose. She turned suffering into foundation. Years later, Rachel was invited to speak at a conference about grief and abandonment. Her speech went viral. Thousands of comments poured in. "I live this. I thought I was alone." Her family's absence had created space for a larger family, a sisterhood of survivors. She received weekly letters, messages of support, stories from women who, like her, had been silenced at their most vulnerable. Her pain became a bridge, and in every tear, she found echoes of strength. Rachel never got over Evan's death, nor did she forgive her family, but she transformed her pain into a beacon. On what would have been Evan's 18th birthday, she wrote, You were loved enough for the world to change because of you. And that's more than some ever get in a lifetime. She lit 18 candles and floated them on a lake, each representing a year stolen. Alone, but no longer lonely. Her journey proved that empathy isn't inherited, it's a daily choice. And she chose to feel. She chose to love. She chose to remember.